Welcome to Hope for Your Pelvic Floor, the podcast where we explore how you can transform the way you move, feel, and live. I'm Claire Sparrow, your host, Pilates teacher and educator, best-selling author, and a woman passionate about helping you rediscover what's possible. I believe that when we reclaim our pelvic health, we reclaim our power. And this is your space for optimism, possibility, and practical steps to move from feeling helpless to hopeful. Here we dive into empowering conversations about pelvic health, movement, and wellness. Whether you're on a journey to regain strength, confidence, or simply looking for a path to hope and possibility, this space is for you. Join me as I break down the myths, share tangible tools, inspiring stories, and expert insights to guide you toward a body that supports you for life. Because you are not meant to settle, you are meant to thrive. This is Hope for Your Pelvic Floor. Let's get started. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing your menopause pelvic floor. Menopause is such a hot topic as well as a hot flush if you're anything like me. And so I think one of the things that we should cover is how menopause is impacting or can impact your pelvic floor. When I look at all these great things that are being made available to us, the visibility of menopause, the conversation that's out there. There's celebs all over the world who are advocates for our choice and education in our menopause journey. The one thing that I see missing in that is the relationship of our menopause journey to our pelvic health. And today it came up for me because I've literally just got in from doing some wild swimming. And I thought, gosh, when was it that I actually started doing this mad cold water swimming that I now absolutely love and can't live without? And it occurred to me that it was in my initial inquiry into what natural things could I do to help support me along my own menopause journey. So it's been 2 years since I started to cold water swim. And honestly, it's been incredible, and I highly recommend it for not so much the temperature regulation and those things, which I think it probably has helped. But honestly, the thing it's helped me with most is the anxiety, the inability to kind of feel in control. And I think that's the overwhelm, the feeling of, oh my gosh, my brain is going a million miles an hour and I just can't see a pathway forwards. It's really helped me with that. It's helped me to find focus, to center myself and feel back, not in control in a bad way. Sometimes, I'm not a control. I mean, some people might say I'm a control freak, but hey, I don't mean it in a negative sense, just having a little bit more sense of self. I think that's probably what it comes down to is feeling that sense of self. So as I got back from swimming today and feeling amazing, if you're on YouTube, you'll see I'm still wearing my woolly scarf just to keep the heat in afterwards. I thought, well, what else did I do? What else have I done along my menopause journey that's perhaps been a little bit more specific to my pelvic floor journey through this? And one of the things that I started to explore was collagen, because in my anatomy studies over the many years I've kind of had that curious mindset and been as my friend Sarah and I always say, the anatomy geeks. I've had an interest particularly in fascia, the connective tissue, which when I started my kind of interest in anatomy, they used to call it the new science of fascia. And I wonder if it still is a new science because, I'm a decade or so down the line. Is it still new? I think it is for many, many people. It is still a new science and there's still limited mainstream understanding. I think it is coming through, but it's only slowly. And I remember in the very early lectures with my anatomy teacher, Gary Carter, talking about the constituents of the kind of ingredients, let's say, of the connective tissue, and one of those being collagen. And so when there's been all of this stuff, menopause supplements here and there, and all, in my age group, we should all be having some kind of collagen. I started to look into that and it kind of made sense. I already had this, well, when I've done my anatomy lessons, collagen's in our fascia. So the pelvic floor is a very fascial, a highly fascial area. So there's a lot of connective tissue there. So this kind of made sense to me that, yeah, that this can only be a good thing. And I started to take some supplements, like, we all do. We see an ad because the algorithm on Instagram knows that I'm interested in collagen all of a sudden. So it started feeding me all the adverts for different sorts of collagen. And, I'm not an expert in collagen, so, don't take this as gospel, but as my own personal experience. And I tried loads of different capsule type supplements with not really any kind of significant shift or change, nothing that I could notice. And I always give at least 3 months of trying something because it takes that amount of time for it to get into your system and make a difference. So I believe. Interestingly, though, as I say that, the collagen powder that I now take, actually, I felt within a week I felt like my skin just felt a bit plumper. My dry patches already were starting to dissipate. I had really bad dry patches on my legs and my arms, and they started to go. So that was quite interesting to me that so quickly with the powdered supplement of collagen, it did make quite a big difference. So, what's this all got to do? What's collagen got to do with our pelvic floor? That's what we really are interested in because we know in menopause, we are not producing the same amount of collagen as we did prior to perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. So, how can we introduce collagen back in through supplements? So that's the journey I went down. And what I found was that the collagen powder versus a supplement worked better, it hit the spot for me. And I've been consistently on that for about 4 or 5 months now. That oh, maybe it's 5 or 6 months. Time is passing too quickly. And then in relation to our pelvic floor, what we need to know about collagen is the role that it really plays in the health of our pelvic floor. So I'm going to go through a few key bits of information that I think will help you understand the importance of collagen for your pelvic floor. And maybe it will give you the idea of some movement that you can do, but also perhaps getting a supplement for yourself, exploring that for yourself is a natural way to help give your pelvic floor a little bit of nourishment. So when with your pelvic floor, we've already said that it's highly fascial. So in the connective tissue is collagen. It's one of the parts of the fascia, what it's made up of. So it's a structural protein. It gives strength. It also gives stretchiness, elasticity, and it also gives support to the connective tissue. So it's got a really vital role, and the structural pieces, like it's like a framework. If you imagine a sponge, think about the structure of the sponge, then soaks up the water. It gives structure. And that structure allows for the support of your pelvic organs. This is one of the things that I talk a lot about, and we will talk loads about in the podcast, which is pelvic organ prolapse. And if you don't have the support of the pelvic floor for your organs, there is going to be potential displacement of those organs. And collagen plays one part of that. You know that diet, exercise, healthy lifestyle, and not doing Kegels, these are all the things that are going to add to it. This is just one part, and I want to go at pelvic health from all angles, not just one. So we've got the structural support, which provides some strength and allows the support of your pelvic organs. Then it's got elasticity and flexibility. It gives your pelvic floor the ability to lengthen out. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see me exaggerating all of this because I feel so passionately about the true function of our pelvic floor and helping you to understand that the pelvic floor is not simply something that needs to be strengthened, and it's the collagen component of our connective tissue that gives elasticity, it gives flexibility so that your pelvic floor can lengthen to pass a bowel movement, it can lengthen to pass a baby, it can lengthen so you can crouch down onto the floor and play with your grandkids, it can lengthen so you can take a big long stride or climb over a stile if you're out walking. It's not designed to just be short and tight and pulled in all the time. That makes it actually way more vulnerable, way more likely to have injury. The flexibility allows you to lift things up. It allows you to do your everyday activities without the pressure and strain creating a problem for your pelvic floor. So that's huge, isn't it? And then we kind of know probably more about collagen's impact on tissue repair and regeneration and aging and preventing. I mean, that would be the best. Could we just prevent aging? But this idea that it plays a significant role in healing, in tissue healing. So if you've had a birth injury or even if you had a hip replacement surgery, it's going to have the need to repair the and if you are not naturally producing as much collagen, doing something like taking a collagen supplement and certain types of exercise is going to help you to produce more collagen. It's going to help you to heal and regenerate new tissue and get better from whatever it is. And then, of course, like I was mentioning, the dry skin, and I worry always about the lines around my eyes and the bags under my eyes and those sorts of things. These are things as we age, the collagen production is naturally decreasing. So that means we're more susceptible to those lines and the puffiness and all of that. Whereas if we are moving our body, if we're taking a supplement, we can improve that. When it comes to, because obviously we're not all going to take a collagen supplement, you might choose to completely do this through movement. So how can you improve the collagen through movement? Loads of ways. So we have this phrase, I think it's a quote from Eric Dalton, but I'm not entirely sure. And it's motion is lotion. And it really is true. Like, it's true. If you don't move your body, it becomes drier, more brittle, less stretchy, less elastic, less collagen is produced. And so any movement, like I literally don't have to tell you what movement to do. You just make a movement choice in your day. So something like, okay, it's so obvious, but something like choose the stairs versus the lift. Something like, we all do this. I mean, I've just walked past it in my own house, but you pile things at the bottom of the stair and you hope that the next person that's going up the stairs will take that thing up for you. Or you think, oh, the next time I go up, I'll take that thing up. Inevitably, we all do it. If you just did it, if you just did it that time, it'll take you a minute, but you are moving and that loading through your body. This is great for your bone density building. It's great for your collagen production. That impact step, step, step up the stairs. If you just did that, another example would be to get the dishes, put your dishes that you use most in the bottom cupboard. So you've got to get down to the floor. You've got to move more out of the normal planes of movement that you do. One of my favorites is put the toilet roll on the cistern behind the toilet so that you have to twist and turn to get it. Any opportunity for movement is going to help you to produce more collagen. It's going to invite that motion as lotion feeling. And then specific movements that you can do are things like standing and just bending your knees and lifting and lowering your heels rapidly, or one then the other. So you're creating a little bit of impact through your heel bone. This is absolutely brilliant. It is super simple to do. You can just do it on the spot. You don't have to go anywhere to do it. It's free and it's simple to do. And that's going to help you to generate that collagen. Other things that you can look into are doing the internal myofascial release. So actually doing some massage in your pelvic floor that's going to help to stimulate it that way internally. You'll find here on the YouTube channel, you'll find a tutorial on how to do that by a pelvic floor physiotherapist who is trained and certified to do that. So really, I just wanted today to raise awareness, to bring your attention to your menopausing pelvic floor. And I think this is really just the beginning of this conversation. The big factor for me, the big change that we think about in relation to our face more than anything. Or I remember my mum always, talking about our aging hands. The things we see, we think about and we know it's affected by the reduced collagen production. However, your pelvic floor is a highly fascial area. It's lots of connective tissue, therefore real potential to experience change through your menopause, and also there's opportunity for you to move more and move in ways that can help you to generate naturally more collagen to help the structure and flexibility of your pelvic floor. So that has been hope for your pelvic floor. I really hope that you're hearing some valuable insights for your own life, that these are strategies that you can integrate with ease into your own life. And I'd love to hear from you if there are any topics that you would particularly like me to cover in the episodes. I'm really just getting started. I could talk to you all day. I am so excited to be here sharing my podcast with you because I'm on a mission for you. So if I'm not out here speaking to you, it's falling on deaf ears. We're not getting the message out there. So the podcast feels like a really thrilling place for me to be with you and share with you. And talking of sharing, if you are enjoying it, if you are feeling benefits from this, please, please, please share with anybody that you think that this will be of value to. We really would reach more people from you sharing. So I appreciate if you do that. And if you want to know more about the supplement that I use, I'll drop a little link in the notes below. And if you're interested in joining me in March for our March Madness, easy for me to say, March Madness, where we adapt Pilates exercises specifically for pelvic floor, I'll pop that into the show notes as well. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to leave it there. I'm off for a hot drink after my cold swim and chat with you, and I will see you all again next week.